I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? All right, so now we on to the music. Welcome back and all that shit. Murray's Revenge. I'm trying to think notes from the last time. When I signed to this on Record Collection, I forgot that I also in the stipulated contract, I don't know if I said it last week, but I got an idea from a group when I was signed to a label called the Mean Reds. They had Disneyland season passes added to their contract for every year they were on the label. So I did the same. I had two for me and myself and whomever I chose or whoever I was dating at the time to have season passes. So it was the first time I had season passes to Disneyland, and I bought season tickets to the Dodgers. Those are my rapper things. And I technically didn't even use the money that they gave me, but because I had that in savings, I felt like I could treat myself to season tickets to the Dodgers. So while they kept me off the road, it kept me something to do, something to travel to, and something to look forward to.
Well, we've had all the introductions. We've had all the pomp and circumstance. We've had all the fuss and feathers. But it's time. It's time for Dodger baseball.
Buying baseball season tickets is a full-time job. If you're ever upset that you didn't get to make that money to buy those season tickets or whatever, I don't know if you're missing much because you see your team take a lot of L's. It's not like football. Baseball is a lot of losing, even when you're good, even when you're really good. You're paid to hit the ball. It's indicative of the game. You're paid to hit the ball, and if you hit the ball 30% of the time, you're doing great. You're paid to strike people out, and if you get 5-6 strikeouts a game, you're doing great. You're doing good. Anyway, learn the nature of baseball, but taught me a lot about life. How even champions take a lot of L's. And you got to sit through them if you love the game. And I do love the game. Well, I love the Dodgers more than I love the game. There's a young lady, I can't think of her name right now. She went on to write for Demi Lovato. She used to take pictures there. And now I think she writes for some big pop star. I'll check it out and look it up and tell y'all next episode. At this time, I got upstream to Warner Brothers, and I got another budget open. But this is still around the time Murs Revenge came out. So season tickets to the Dodgers was my splurge for sure from the Murs Revenge era. And the album was done. Me and Knife still to this day, every album we've done has been, except for Forever. No, Forever, I think too. Every album is done in 5 days. We never wanted to break the formula, for better or worse. So the album was done. Imagine for me having an album done and just sitting. Dodger games help. Oh, album cover taken by Mike Piccatelli, who is, I think, one of the co-founders of Fucking Awesome. He was just in the office of Record Collection. Really great, eclectic group of people, even though it didn't end well. I have love for and respect for everyone there. When we get to the last episode, you'll hear about the temper tantrum I threw. But Mike worked at the label. He was also a great photographer and artist. Had a great brand. I was so stoked that he knew Jason Dill. Jason Dill is one of those enigmatic, one-of-a-kind individuals, man. If you know skating, Jason Dill.
What's happening with your video part, buddy?
What's going on with my video part? I'm going to tell you this one more time. I want this video part so bad. I want it to be so good.
You call me more often than not sure what day of the week it is.
Carter, it is fucking Friday the fucking 10th.
I'm just telling you, Dill, my observations, and I'm worried about you.
I know, Carter, but it's not. I think it's more me being more flamboyantly, extravagantly. I don't know. Maybe I am that fucked up, but I'm not thinking I am, and maybe that's worse.
So, Dill, are you gonna sort of settle into a lifestyle up there like we talked about, like it's like normal hours and
Where he is?
Yeah, remember we talked about you need to kind of get on some sort of schedule, like where you go to bed?
I got my room, my books, my shelves, my bed.
Dude, this is your big video.
And I loved his first shoes on DVS, and I loved the brand Fucking Awesome, so I used to get free Fucking Awesome. I don't know, there was not a lot of shit. They had t-shirts back then. but it looked like Hulkamania, and I loved it. I think I still have like a purple one. But this is like 04, no, 05. 05, nobody's wearing fucking awesome like they were or are, I don't know. Anyway, so Mike took the picture. Ninth made me do a picture with me to put your face on the cover. No more of this hiding shit. Be like Mos Def on Black on Both Sides, something like that. I didn't want to do it. My low self-esteem, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, man, this is it. The inside cover is when you lift up the CDs. This is when hopefully I can get lucky to talk about this trip to Australia. I was in Australia. This was the album was done. Anyway, I was listening first, I'm not the rapper that plays my album, but I was playing my album. And then it felt good to me that my big brother, that someone that put me on, and, it was hard to earn his props. For me, he respected the new album, and he was like asking to listen to it. And I never play my records for myself in front of people. But I did. And we had a Swede in Sydney, and man, I had a dude, there's a record store, and I think it's in Sydney or Melbourne. I might fuck it up. I believe it was Sydney. And we would book shows in Australia and just let the money from the shows pay for our stay. We would stay for a couple weeks, 3 weeks in nice hotels. It wasn't about bringing back money. It was about the experience. I love Australia. Man had a record store, and we would also like bring product and sell it to the stores. He bought some product, and he was like, yo, you guys need to be on watch. He went in the back to his printer from the internet, printed out this piece on a man named Barack Obama. And he's like, man, have you read Memoirs of My Father by Barack Obama? I was like, I don't even know who the fuck Barack Obama is. Like, it had to be like late 04, early 05. And I was like, man, I have no fucking clue. No, yeah, late 05. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, man. I'm getting the dates confused. But I was like, huh? And then I read the little printout, and I was like, oh, shit, okay. And so that's when we hear on Sweet Lord. Sweet Lord was recorded in 06. Yeah, winter 06. I was like, I'm hoping that the world fall in love with Obama.
I got love for my mama for surviving all the drama, and I'm hoping that the world fall in love with Obama.
I mean, he hasn't even announced he's running for president yet, but now I'm on his head. Like, I'm a huge fan of his just by reading about his stories, community work, and then reading Memoirs of a Father or My Father or something. I'm on board, for better or worse, guys. But yeah, it was a white guy in Australia that put me on to Barack Obama. He also put me on to Stephen Chow, and I went to go see Kung Fu Hussle or Shaolin Soccer, one of them, at this Chinese market that they had. No English, nothing anywhere. And he was like, you go to the top floor and then just go see it. And it was like, it had subtitles, it had English subtitles.
Shaolin Kung Fu. Now, they've lost their way, but one man is getting them back together.
Kung Fu is perfect for sports.
To remind them of the courage they still have and apply it to a game they've never played.
Kung Fu Soccer.
And if you've seen Shaolin Soccer or Kung Fu Hussle, for someone that, from our era, the Wu-Tang Kung Fu flicks.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Even just Commando, Jim Kata, Three Ninjas, Ninja Turtle, like, we're the fucking karate generation. To me, it's like hip-hop. It's like they took some shit, regular dance, regular music, and kind of turned it on its head, took an art form and kind of turned it on its head. It's very, like, it's not around time, but the era, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was big, and that's beautiful and it's grandiose, but there's no grit to it. There's no swag to it. It's just, beautiful and great. But this is beautiful, great, and gritty to me, and that's what hip-hop is.
Shut your fat. Watch your mouth and lower your tone and keep your hand on that cell phone. We back. Now my day in the sun has come. The one chosen to break up the ice that got the rap world frozen. Speak that slang, that'll heat up the game. Now roll down your window, turn the beat up and bang. Feeling the breeze, let the world know they still making real MCs. So please, make a call, tell your friend, tell the hood that we back and revenge never sounded so good. Question in ninth about chopping vocal samples. I'll chop you in your throat till you choke on the answer. Nice with this mic since I was broken handsome. Till I get my respect, I'm holding dope for ransom. From the west coast, everything I float's an anthem. A&Rs who slept are now throwing a tantrum. Hand them over, boys, your jewels and your girls. Bow down to the sound, cause Murs rules the world. I'm better than your favorite rapper, but it don't take much these days for you to master the mic. Most of these rappers trapped in the hype. They making whole albums, only half of it's tight, so they never really have an impact on your life. That's why 316 was genius. We all connected through this minstrel show, man, I mean it. Until my day's end, I'm getting paid, my friend, without pimping my soul. The gangster limping was old, so I walk like a man and talk to my fans. Clocked a few grand, but you gotta understand, I got a little money and I could've bought a chain, but my mama would've killed me, simple and plain. Exchange for a currency, for legal tender. Now I'm back to in the era of the great pretender. So pull your pants up and turn that noise down. It's Murs and Ninth Wonder on the second go round. Go round, go round, go round, go round.
The first track. A Day in the Sun has come. When we always do the first track last, so this is the last thing. I think we did this at his house. To break up the ice that got the rap world frozen. Speak that slang that'll heap the game. Roll down your window, turn the beat up and bang like feeling the breeze. So on this, I done felt too in between this album and 316. Slug taught me about the boom, like laying the bass hit, feeling the breeze. Turn down the beat or run the wind up and bang. That's on the 4, because rap is on the 2 and 4 usually. So roll down the window, turn the beat up, turn down the window, turn the beat up, it bang. And this is the one, boom, it's the kick, usually kick, snare, boom, and let it breathe. So feeling the breeze, let the world. So I was really into showing that off because I just learned that and mastered that on felt. So I was like, oh man. And I think as we get into the next song, Murray's Revenge, I think I did it too much. Or Murray's Law. I did it too much. But I love it. Let the world know, and turn down the beat up, run the window, like roll down the window, turn the beat up, it bang. Like, so my theory on East Coast, West Coast hip hop has always been, but for years has been the line by Jay-Z, you know, in the projects and the drugs are evolve and thugs are at odds. I know whatever, argue all day about who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas.
I'm from where niggas pull your card and argue all day about who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.
Those conversations don't happen in the projects or in the hood in California, or didn't in my era, because we cared about the beat, like staying out of the way or enhancing Dre's production or Battle Cat's production or Quick's production was what you were supposed to do. With some memorable lines, or Tony A's production. Shout out to High C. We won't even talk about how fascinated I am with High C. That Scandalous album is a classic to me.
I'm fresh out the hair, shot my curl is tight, but some brothers be tripping. I'm ready to fight because my hair is long. Don't have to use a comb to make my hair hit. I throw some activator on, and when I spray my curls, the grease might get on me. I got a gang of hoochies, but the Fendi girls don't want me. There's a slight chance if your top ain't flat, a girl might tell you to step the heck back. I brought up on this trick and asked, could I be her man? She said you need a flower shirt and flopped up in some Vans. I said no, I want to stick to the dickies. Finger band and coochie, get the neck full of hickeys. I had to pop gang cause the girl was so pretty, but the trick tried to diss and say my hair was drippy. So leave my girl alone. You can cut your hair, do anything you choose, but just leave my girl alone.
I want to remix Leave My Curl Alone and do Leave My Dreads Alone. I've been wanting to do that so long. I don't say so long. For the past few months since I stopped rapping, I had that idea. I was like, oh, fuck. I should have done Leave My Dreads Alone. All the girls, they just love me because my Jerry curl greasy. Like, I loved High C because this is a lane like where he's a kind of a gangster rapper, but he's not. He's buying a bunch of gangsters, but he's really just being himself. And the fact that he sampled oldies, man, is just sitting in the park. I'm not your puppet.
Now I talked to this girl for about 2 weeks, and I've been many places and seen many freaks, but this girl was just fly. Her body good looking, I was a fish just flapping, and she was like hooking. I got to know her by spending some time. She gave me things of hers for some things of mine. Everything was going good, could nothing go better. Anything she wants to do, I see will just let her.
But yeah, staying out of the way, enhancing the production, telling a story that enhanced the production, repping your hood while enhancing the production. It wasn't about lyricism per se with a lot of G-Funk gangster rap. And even Freestyle Fellowship, it wasn't really about the lyrics. I know the whole fucking Inner City Griots out front to back, but when you get to any song on fucking Inner City Griots where Micah 9 starts rapping, bro, he spelled something out, and I couldn't tell you what the fuck he spelled. Gondaeer is a 7-point star. Is a bit of that far. Is a bit of that star. Is a bit of that star. Is a bit of that star. But I know the whole pattern.
Goddiddistar is a 7-point star. Heaven is in that bar. Living is in that heart. When you're giving no stars. Osiris and regular, irregular. My overscanning iris. So shaka, you're referring to my supermind type. Like the growing in the super to ignite. I'm dynamite on the mic, and I like being out the mystic, seeing like a mystic, baby. Anything is everything, and anyone is everyone, and then I'm singing. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright.
We were a rhythmic coast because we listen to music. It's always sunny here for the most part. You know the sun's gonna come out. We take it for granted. We want to roll down our windows. We want the beat to bang. Heavy, low end, my brother. 2 15s in the trunk going down Crenshaw. That's what we did. Even for me being a hip-hop dude, this is what we did. And he would let me play Freestyle Fellowship, you know? But yeah, it was Daz's production, man. Like, that was it, man. Can you stay out of the way or get in the pocket? But it wasn't about lyricism per se. And so that's why I'm like, roll down the window, turn the beat up, and bang. Like, all that thought is going to, like I said, these are things in the back of my mind. That's what that represents to me, trying to tell people, like, this still bangs. It's not G-funk. It's not funky, but it's still, like, under it, boom, slap, maybe, like boom, bap, but that slaps. Feeling the Breeze, some Cali still representing California. I was really still very much, to this day, I mean, I'm growing out of it, but back then I was really vehemently against people doing boom bap, East Coast rap, and being from LA. You gotta know where I'm from, bro. And that we make boom bap too. We make classic hip hop. Fuck that. And we do it just as well as anyone else. You know? We back in Revenge Never Sounded So Good. Question in ninth about chopping vocal samples. I chop you in your throat till you choke on the answer. That was a stretch for me. You know, sample and answer don't really rhyme, but just nice with this mice, the sound broken handsome, getting my respect, holding dough for ransom. Like, I want my respect over the money. I'm holding the money for, and instead of holding a person hostage, something hostage for monetary gain, I am holding the money hostage. And that was also reference to, I was saying, I didn't spend my half of the advance. I kept that in the bank. Getting my respect, holding, and also because I negotiated a deal where I had monthly checks. And I was living off of, for that moment in my life, having a monthly check, or weekly, I think it was bi-weekly or month. I think it was monthly. So it wasn't as good as having a regular job. And it was still connected to my record deal. So I didn't feel the complete, and what you guys don't think is freedom, the freedom of, like, I don't have to worry about where my next check come from. It's a burden. There's a freedom ain't free. That kind of freedom ain't free. So having a check come every month, I was spending that money. Give my respect, holding dough for ransom from the West Coast once again. And I was slipping out, throwing a tantrum. Hand them over your boys, your jewels, and your girls. Bow down to the sound because Murs rules the world. I'm better than your favorite rapper. Murs is better than your favorite rapper. Came from Limp Bizkit. Still love Limp Bizkit. Fuck you, I love Limp Bizkit. I'm going to talk about Limp Bizkit a lot. But Murs is better than your favorite rapper. I made bumper stickers. Best rapper in LA. We do homeschooling. I was teaching my kids the they were learning like EST. We read a short story and then we were doing a worksheet on EST being like best, okay, the truest, the bluest. And so I asked my 4-year-old, because he's a little behind, but we still let him kind of sit in on the 5-year-old classes because we can't really separate them. So he said, okay, I was like, so what's your EST word? And he's like, beautifulest. And I was like, oh, how hip hop. This is beautiful.
The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I give it, yeah. The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I give it, yeah. The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I give it, yeah. The most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that.
But best, beautifulest, I love better than being better than the best, like that. Comes from me loving the most beautifulest thing in the world. It might not make sense to you, but these are, once again, the subconscious thoughts. but Murs is better than your favorite rapper, Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst, Keith Murray. And this is called Murray's Revenge. We named it before. Ninth usually calls me and we say we're on book. Okay, is this date open for you these days? So these 5 days, you got 5 days, cool. You got some beats, cool. All right, what we gonna call this one? And I go, and coming out of my homie's passing, I was like, oh, this is my revenge. And I think I could go into that a little bit. Like, yeah, I thought I had the means to, for sure. I thought about killing the people who killed him. And I didn't even get to the fucking Trey moment and boy, don't get out that car. Don't let me out.
Let me out. Don't. Let me out.
These are the things that was like, art is important. John Singleton was important because that energy had been shown to me, and I knew that there was a place for it. And even though some people make fun of Trey, and I think in gangster rap songs they make fun of him, I want to be Trey because we don't see Doughboy die, but Doughboy don't make it, bro. I didn't want to be Trey watching the movie, but I want to be Trey. In our mind, we want to be Ice Cube. In your mind, that's the other thing we talk about. I don't know if we talked about this podcast. In your mind, we was all sitting around one day like, we grew up on Purple Rain. Like, we all want to be Prince. But for really, you kind of just want to be Morris Day. Like, when we sat down and talked about it, we're like, yeah, probably want to be Morris Day, bro. I'm not going to wear my pants with the ass cut out.
You ladies don't seem to realize how valuable my time is. You're going to make my boys look bad.
Why don't you let us come up with our own steps?
We tried that, remember? Now you're in the best possible position you could be in. So what's the matter? Your shoes on too tight or something? Let's have some action. Let's have some asses wiggling. I want some perfection.
I don't want to be Doughboy. He looks really cool. The Jerry Curl is awesome. We got a problem here. We got a problem, nigga. Like that part is awesome.
Oh, we got a problem here? We got a problem here? We got a problem, nigga?
But the part where you die or you go to jail, that's not as awesome, man. Trey wasn't that cool. I didn't want the bug. His girlfriend wasn't all that to me. I was scared of his daddy. I wanted to shower. I'm not scared of her, but scared too, but I probably had to slap Lawrence Furious Styles in his mouth. He probably had to beat my ass. You ain't about to talk. I don't care how many of them little balls you got. Anyway, but all fictional. But that gave me a place. When that moment came for me in real life, I didn't even have to get in the car. But, because of the things that happened the last night that got shot on my block, like I know, and things that I won't talk about on this podcast, but I had moments where I was close and I just couldn't. And I was like, at that point, I knew I would rather, and after watching his mother, his children, and being with his daughters almost every day, I would never wish that on my worst enemy. You are killing fathers and sons, brothers, best friends, my business partner, who I'm planning on starting a label with, who we were going to be able to change lives for people in our neighborhood. And there's a part of me that wishes that I could have done it, but he was that half of me that had the connect. Like it would have taken both of us, me to handle the industry and the artistic side and him to handle the streets. It took both of us, and him to handle the music. Like I'm handling the words, I can handle the press, I can A&R the records, but I couldn't do it without him. I would rather die. And there was even a moment at his repast where I was out of my mind. I was ready. You take what I was still battling, my depression and anxiety and wanting to die before this happened. Man, it was a tough time. So that's why the cover is white. And yeah, I just took this as my chance to get revenge. My day in the sun has come. The one chosen. Like man, not that it should have been or could have been, but that thing is just like where, like you get tired of thinking it could be me and just fuck it. I want it to be me. The anxiety of like, I could be doing this and getting shot. Like, fuck it. There was a moment when we were at the repast. We had it at Martin's Records on Pico. The homie had taken it over by then. And I think that's when we got I bought kegs to the hood for the first time. We never had no fucking kegs in my neighborhood, to my knowledge. I didn't even know we had to return them, all kind of shit. But I'm getting cultured, man. And there's people I'm still hearing criticism about how I talk or what I say. But that's what really helped me. Like living in the Bay and traveling the world, like I'm not a gang member, never claimed a gang, but what I've experienced and what I've seen and what I've been through, I'm a long ways from a gangster, but I'm too much trauma away from fucking normal. You in a room full of other men, y'all talking, everybody's like, yeah, I've never been in a fight in my life. Huh? I had never been in a room with that many people who had never been in a fight in their life. Like, that's crazy. So this is why I'm just like, I lean more towards that. I'm far from that, but I'm way farther from the average American. I'll tell you that. And that night at the thing, it was just like, man, it's a bunch of us outside on Pico, and it's just like, motherfuckers start rolling by. And I have to say we because like the bullets are indiscriminate. I'm outside with people from rival gangs. Like whether I bang or not is not an issue. It's not. So motherfuckers start rolling by. Car did 2 laps. Man, I was so wasted and so hurt. I just ran out in the middle of the street and waited for him. And I went to their window. I said, hey, the next time you drive by here, you better just shoot me. Nigga, just kill me. I don't give a fuck. Or get the fuck on. Either get down or get the fuck on, man. I'm fucking sick and tired of this shit, cuz. And they left. There was a point where I just wanted to go. Like, this shit is stressful, man. And just feeling like, there's a part of you that feels like, man, why don't I want to get back? Why can't I do that? Am I a sucker for real? Am I less? Even though I never thought it was the best idea, but now it's different when it's one of your team and somebody close to you. It's different when, like I said, when you're with this family, when you're with the daughters. But then I would never wish that. I'm too empathetic. I could never wish that on anyone else. So my thing was like, either I'm going to go, or as I came up out of it and put myself to use, being there to help his girls and help his wife, let's go get this money. Let's make this rap thing happen in spite of it all. It's the best form of revenge. But it don't take much these days for you to master the mic. Most of these rappers trapped in a hype. They make a whole albums only half as tight, so they never really have an impact in your life. It's like rapping for rap's sake. That's why 316 was genius. So shout out to Jean Grey, who had just done an album with Ninth Wonder. We all connected through this minstrel show. Damn, I mean it. Until my day's end, I'm getting paid, my friend. Not pimping my soul. Gangsta limping is old. So I walk like a man. Limp, walk, talk to my fans. Clocked a few grams, but you gotta understand. I got a little money, I could have bought a chain, but my mama would have killed me. Simple and plain. Exchange, foreign currency, foreign exchange. Shout out. Minstrel Show was Little Brother's second album. For Legal Tender now, back to end the era of the Great Pretender. Great Pretender is a shout out. Once again, the oldies mean so much, especially as we get into Silly Girl and a lot of knife samples I just really love.
Ha ha ha. Silly, wasn't I? Oh, I was lost in a world and like a foolish girl.
East Side Stories, Volume 1 through whatever. But this one was The Great Pretender. I just looked it up. It was written by Buck Ram. By Buck Ram, he said he wrote it 20 minutes when he was a waiter somewhere. And he was a manager of the Platters and wrote a lot of their songs and produced a lot of their albums. And according to Wikipedia, he was born in Chicago, Illinois. And he was one of the few managers that didn't steal songs from other people. He actually wrote them. I would have loved to just write for people. I don't know if I have the voice or the swag. I don't have the desire to be the center of attention. But there are no Buck Rams in hip hop. Everybody wants to write their own shit. Not everybody's a writer. Not everybody's a rapper. I'm more of a writer than a rapper. But back to the Great Pretender. But shout out to Buck Ram. Why I won't bring his name up is because I just learned and I want to share this, is that Mercury is going to release it on a subdivision label that was for race records, black records. And he told them, no, the Platters have worked too hard. We've worked too hard. You got to put this on Mercury proper. And I think that's dope. And it takes, moments of Frank Sinatra standing for Sammy Davis, takes Buck Ram standing for the Platters. And those people need to be acknowledged. White, black, whatever. If we're in the struggle for equality, we're in it together. So shout out to him.
Yes, I'm the great pretender. Pretending that I'm doing well. My need is such, I pretend too much. I'm lonely.
Moving on, pull your pants up, turn your noise down. Turn the noise down. It's Mercer Ninth Wonder on a second go round. I had that in my head, that last line. Usually I get that last line in my head once we book the session. I had that. And the watch your mouth and lower your tone and keep your hand on that cell phone. Keep your hand on the cell phone is kind of like, like nod to the back, we tell you, like chirp. Like, and when it pop off, be ready to it's just as handy as your pistol. But that's all my brother Nate. Watch your mouth and lower your tone. Keep your head on that cell phone. He was with us when we were working on this record. He flew in for Thanksgiving. We had it at Knife's mother's house, his brother's house. Rest in peace to Punkin. Oh, man, life, bro. Tell somebody you love them, man. Punkin was there, him and his sons and his wife at the time. And then we went to his mom's house in her complex, apartment complex. People were lined. Only time in my life I regretted not eating chitlins. People were lined up. Just people from the community lined up to eat his mother's chitlins. That's how much she throws down in the kitchen. Met his pops. It was getting cold, and I talk to everyone, especially older folks, though, because I love the knowledge. And I think that's something that capitalism and Western culture doesn't celebrate enough and revere enough. So I talked to his pops, and somehow we got on. His pops is an amazing landscaper, can tell you any type of plant, flower, tree, and a golfer. And so we talk about golf. At that point, I didn't know shit about golf. I don't know shit about plants. Somehow we got on the fact that I never had a leather jacket. So he went to his house and gave me my first leather jacket, even though I'm a vegan. So I was a vegan at a Southern Thanksgiving. Just imagine that. And he brought me my first leather jacket. I still have it. I love his father. I love his family. Deeper in the rap, y'all. So those are all things I hear and think about when I hear that song. Next one is Murray's Law.
And I'm the four-letter word that you don't bleep out. Got a question for you rappers rolling with your heats out. Is this really where you wanna be when Jesus come back? Lying about your life, over beats coming whack. And you say I'm backpack, cause I don't have a gat. Man, I just love life, and I'm dealing with the facts. I'm young, I'm gifted, I'm beautiful, I'm black. And my mama didn't raise no fool like that. I understand that you broke, you trying to get money, but you don't start gang banging in your mid-20s. Don't know nothing about the beat or the gang that you claiming. You ain't even worth naming. But I got a right hook that'll vacate your Timberlands. Take this outside, set it straight like gentlemen. I do feel the music, so I kinda respect it. But don't confuse ill lyrics with real street credit. Come on.
What you gonna do, man? Huh? Get knocked out. We official like a referee with a whistle, boy. Get it right, man. My man Murs, so shut these cats down. Holler at 'em.
I got my wallet in my pocket and my money in my sock, cause that's how it be when it's funny on the block. Like it be on TV when these dummies try to rock with they secondhand flows like they running on the clock in a 1-minute cycle. I'm done with the rifles, the texts, the nines, the killers, the psychos. Look, now can we party? And I want a Shirley Temple cause I don't drink Bacardi. But in a minute, I'ma probably try to holler out a hottie with a nice shaped bodies. If she's into what I'm into, we should worship at my temple. I'ma grind from behind as we wind to the temple. And she break it down slow, then it feel like Mo. That's a Mayfield line for all of y'all who don't know. All I do is have fun and bring life to the fans. And I don't need a gun, cause I'm nice with my hands. Come on.
Nice with my hands, dog. Never seen the floor, man. Ask somebody, check the stats. Murs, man. Yo, get at these fools, though. Let them know what's good, baby.
We shocked the world last year year when nobody heard of we. My boy, you got skills, it's like musical surgery. Me, you know the deal, I'm a lyrical emergency. We keepers of the real, just consider us security of the world knife, something like top flight. As long as we in control, everything is alright. While the rest was still you on with them songs that they thought of. I wrestle with these words, but I'm never getting caught up in the drama and the BS. First up out the underground, you know I gotta be fresh. Rhymes running through my mind all day, I press eject. I gotta lay them down on these beats cause they need rest. Yes, I'm back for the title when I brought an iron fist just to smack all your rivals. Would've thought I ran track the way I ran through my rivals. Man, I swear I'm the truth. Slap my hand on the Bible, let's go.
And on the 4-letter word that you can't bleep out, got a question for you rappers while the Wood you heats out. Is this really where you want to be when Jesus come back, lying about your life? Over beats coming whack. It's probably the best line. Oh man, I was so and still so into saying things that no one else will say in a rap. And coming off of that, just talking about not retaliating, like, man, like I said, all these killers and writers, and man, I don't think y'all really know how it feels to get into some of this stuff that motherfuckers claim they do on a regular without a second thought. There are definitely people who can, you know what I'm saying? And I believe, like, you know, my homie that passed was like one of those, like, you can see it. I've been around it. I've seen it. I know, yeah, you know, that's just not normal. Like, I've been around too many people who have killed people to believe, to be normal, and also to believe that you're that person, because I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. There's a feeling to it. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is, you know, not that line from RZA, but something like it. You can see the weakness of a man right through his iris.
You can see the weakness of a man right through his iris. Unloyal snakes get thrown in boiling lakes of hot oil. Uncoils your skin, chicken heads getting slim like olive oil.
That resonated with me. Once you've been around it, you can see it, you can sense it, you can feel it, man. We need something realer. What Jay said and Just Blay said, exactly real. But the vibes that you're giving off is so unfamiliar. I don't feel you. We need something realer.
That's why when you talk that tough talk, I never feel you. You sound real good and you play the part well, but the energy you giving off is so unfamiliar. I don't feel you. We need something realer.
Yeah, Murray's Law. Not the best song, man. I love the beat. I love the idea, but I was having too much fun with the Paul style. Man, I understand you're broke. You're trying to get money, but you don't start gangbanging in your mid-20s. Woo! Man. It was really frustrating to me to see that. And it's funny because I'm hearing things now where people were frustrated me the same way. I've never claimed to be a gangbanger ever. But yeah, for like gangbanging was for sale. This is at the moment when gangbanging became for sale. You could become from a set in your mid-20s, and it was kind of a joke, inside joke to someone we know in my circle. But I love them. Don't start gangbanging in your mid-20s. Don't know nothing about the gang that you're claiming. You ain't even worth naming. But I got a right hook that'll vacate your timber. Like we talked about, like I'll fight. You know, someone told me like they, you know, never seen me throw a punch. And it's very rare. It's very rare that you find men that also want to fight. I'm at an age where I don't want to fight longer, but back then, no, man, for a good reason. Vacate your Timberlands, take the South Side, set it straight like Jim. And I do feel the music, so I kind of respect it, but don't confuse ill lyrics with real street credit. Come on. My contradictory nature, yeah, man, is I'm okay with you pretending that I'll listen to it if it sounds good, but when you want us to believe it, when you want me to be scared, or yeah, it is like keep it in the booth, bro. Keep it on stage and keep it on the booth. I really wish that certain rappers would just say, "Hey, I never did anything, but neither did Al Pacino. I'm great." People always use that, and then they say, "Oh, it's just the same thing." Well, it's not the same thing because none of these rappers come out and say, "Hey, this is a gangster rap movie album." I'm not that guy. And they don't owe it to us, but I just feel that'd be a little bit better for the community, be better for the kids, and I could enjoy it more personally. Yeah, and then Joe Scudder talking shit in the hook. Nice call on that, too. So glad he didn't ask me to write a chorus for this. Money in my sock, that's how it be when these dummies try to rock with their second-hand flows like they're running on the clock in a 1-minute cycle. That was cool. Hot line. Woo, bars. Yeah, then we get into the Tex, the Nines, the Killer. That was kind of like my shot. Like Tech and I, to me, were similar in the same path. It wasn't a diss to him. I forgot. There was a line. So there was lines in here where I forgot what I said after Tex, the Nines, the Killers, the Psychos. But I like those. Something like that. I was shouting out Tech, and Knife like deleted it. And I'm so glad that it never got taken out of context, because that's not what it was. But yeah, it was I think I wanted to add lines. Maybe it wasn't the experience with the boom, because then it's like when I grind from behind, I wanted to go back and add lines like the Slick Rick back and forth shit. And we ended up doing that on Nina Ross, but he didn't want me to do it on this. Then the boom, I just want to party. Look, now can we party? And I want a Shirley Temple. I don't know if any of rappers shouting out Shirley Temples in a positive light, but this is me sober, trying to come out of my darkness. Most people would drink into it, but I had had enough therapy and whatever at that point where I was going to sober myself into a better state of mind, an emotional state of being. Don't drink Bacardi. In a minute, I'm going to probably try to holler at a hottie with a nice-shaped body. If she's into what I'm into, we should worship at her temple. I could grind from behind as we wind to the temple, then she break it down slow. It feel like he didn't let me take that over, by the way. So I said, we should worship at my temple. I don't know what the fuck. He was like, just leave it. And he didn't let me go back and fill in the things. I think that I did this in one take, and then I wanted to go back and fill in the lines, and he wouldn't let me. She's into what I'm into. We should worship at my temple and grind from behind. Wind to the temple when she break it down slow. And it feel like most or Mayfield line on, for y'all who don't know, all I do is have fun, bring life to the fans, and I don't need a gun because I'm nice with my hands. It's kind of all speaks for itself. And I was definitely listening to Mayfield for this one. So that's who I was studying when I wasn't listening to rap. He was one of the 3 artists I chose. I forget who else, but as we listen, I may catch more hints at who I was listening to during this. But this was definitely shouting out Curtis Mayfield. Yeah. We shocked the world last year when nobody heard of We My Boy got skills like lyrical surgery. Me, you know the deal. I'm a lyrical emergency. We keep a little the real, just consider a security. Lyrical emergency is something that my friend Baswan said. Baswan is one of the dopest MCs and one of the best freestyle battlers in the Bay. And when I was like 17, 18, living with Lucky and Sunspot, they'd always talk about, you can't serve Baswan. Baswan is the illest. He was in like Underworld, which was the early version of Living Legends. He's on a song. Oh, I forget what it's called. Braveheart. It's one of the best verses. I still know it by heart. He's amazing.
My family insisted I enlisted, so I went down, got sworn to get my war in, be around more men who like to serve and hurt, and put these naughty motherfuckers under the dirt. I have my orders, my ammo, my sample of chemicals, testing it on these Nazi individuals. My unit is in tune with every movement I make. It's 3 of us gon' hit them at daybreak. I'm at right flank, fat bet aerial. I see movement in the camp, they gotta be careful. Tom got the bomb, we all got masks on. It's 045, Baswan gets his blast on. Methodical, not hip-hodical inhalants. Raw radiation, injecting assailants. Covalent bonding, oxide toxic. Cross around my neck, microfilm in my pocket. Strategy at me, be on point. In the ghost, on post, snowing makes me be the host. Hit they HQ, take flicks of the documents. United States Army, my recognizance. But I won't be captured, so they won't hear that shit. UHB, yeah! Mission accomplished. That's right.
And I was scared to battle Baswan, but one night before we headed out to San Jose for a show to sell tapes, we got into it and we just set it off. And we freestyling in this apartment in MacArthur, over by MacArthur Bar, Walnut in the Creek, and over by MacArthur Bart, whatever, Oakland, heart of Oakland, battling in an apartment. And I was getting at him, and he was like, "Oh shit, this is a lyrical emergency." Baswan talks like this, and he's like, "This is a lyrical emergency. I haven't had to call one of these in years." And we battled. It was fun. So yeah, when I said, me, you know the deal, I'm a lyrical emergency. We keepers of the real just consider security of the world knife is of the world Craig. Now I can remember. I remember fighting to get, because he took out all my other parts to let the beat hit, which is dope. And I understood it, and I wanted to use it part of because of the boom thing I learned what felt too. But man, I was like, if I don't put this in, this song's not going to make sense. We keepers of the real just consider security of the world knife something, and it still would have made sense. But I'm glad he like let me get that in. Of the world knife, something like top flight. As long as we control everything's going to right, while the rest will lead you wrong with the songs that they thought of. I wrestle with these words, but I'm never getting caught up in the drama and the BS. Without the underground, you know I got to be fresh. That was a line I flubbed, and I was fighting with him about this, but instead of letting me do another take, he just backmasked it or reversed it. Riffs about the underground, you know I got to be fresh. Rhymes running all day through my mind. I press eject. I got to lay them down on these beats because they need rest. Yes, I'm back for the title, and I brought an iron fist just to smash all your idols, or you smack all your rivals. Would have thought I ran track the way I smack all your... This is me trying to get my bars on. Smack all your idols, smash. You would have thought I ran track the way I ran through my rivals. He didn't let me do... He let me say rivals twice. I wanted to go back and do that line over. So I brought an iron fist just to smack all your rivals is what it says on the thing, but I meant idols. Ran track way through our titles. Man, I swear I'm the truth. Slap the hand on the Bible, which helps the idols, smashing idols like they do in the Bible. Put your hand on the Bible. Let's go.
She thought that making me wait was the way to get me hooked. Now, fellas, we all know the oldest trick in the book. What you do, you wait around, wait until she breaks down. One day at the crib, she gon' let you break ground. Soon found out she was so real with it. 1 year, no love, man, who would deal with it? Me, I fell for it, romance and financing. A couple years back, I would've told you there was no chance in hell. But oh well, here I was. That's how it be when you're falling in. I wouldn't say that. Maybe it was them trips to the gentleman's club. Oh well, that got me feeling I was giving, but I wasn't giving back. Man, that story about that cow and that milk ain't a fact. Cause if you wait too long, the milk goes sour. And I like my love hot, no more cold showers. So silly little girl, simple little girl, you didn't want me when I wanted you. I'm on the other girls, I don't want you in my world. And there's not a single thing that you can do. You're playing on my phone and you won't leave me alone. I think it's finally time for you to get a clue. You told all your friends about the time we used to spend. Now I'm about to run it all throughout your crew. Ooh, I called Pam, you know the one that always liked me. You tried to tell her that I had the drip just to spite me, but she didn't buy it. Guess what? Was down to try it, and we did a lot more than kiss. I can't deny it. I took her to the Hyatt, Ty her to the Clarion, took Tasha to the Hyatt. Oh yeah, I went there again, and staring in my windows, it's just not hot. Always thought you was a freak, never knew you liked to watch. And I'ma call the cops next time you come to my job. And my new girlfriend, she from the hood, she down to squab. And when she take out them earrings, crunch time, punch time, believe me, I know. Let me tell you about this one time. I came home late, didn't call. Wait, that's not the point. She gets another fight, she's going back to the joint. So don't waste the time, we both know you can't fight. Now quit hiding in them bushes and go home. Good night. Silly little girl, simple little girl, you didn't want me when I wanted you. I'm on the other girls, I don't want you in my world. And there's not a single thing that you can do. You're playing on my phone and you won't leave me alone. I think it's finally time for you to get a clue. You told all your friends about the time we used to spend. Now I'm about to run it all throughout your crew.
On the silly girl, I think Joe laid his part the same day. Yeah, I heard the beat, loved it. Gave me Art LeBeau vibes. Ha ha ha, silly. I love doing this song live.
Ha ha ha, silly. Hit the high note with this motherfucker. Come on, I can't hit it. Ha ha ha, silly. You got it? Ha ha ha, silly. This is dedicated to anybody who ever had blue balls. Silly. She thought that making me wait was the way to get me hooked. Now, fellas, we all know the oldest.
Let's see. Thought that making me wait was what he gave me. Now, fellas, we all know it's tricky. This is just straightforward, man. Song about a girl not saying the B word, but being frustrated with her not putting out. And something that I knew all guys could relate to and girls could relate to. The intro people think is funny.
You know what? Get a little stuff between your legs, not gonna keep me. And neither is you calling me every 5 minutes like you need to know what I be doing. I'm at where I'm at, and I'm gonna be where I'm gonna be. And that's about all you need to know. And you need to use your inside voice when you talk to me, because all that raising your voice when you in front of your friends in the car on your cell phone, it's not hot. It's not cute. It's not getting you anywhere. And it's about to get you fired. So.
Yeah. Quoting Mike Epps in the last song of this song. Mike Epps is probably every man, for at least black men, like there's an era where like my stepfather has a cadence and my uncle have a cadence like Bill Cosby. A lot of the kids I went to high school with all sounded like Martin. Like it was just a cadence. I never really fell into that. I wasn't a huge Martin Lawrence fan. I respect him, but it just wasn't my thing. But Mike Epps is my thing. Mike Epps is definitely my probably one of my favorite comedians, if not my favorite comedian.
I'm gonna let you know it ain't your booty, it's your beauty.
So shouting him out back to back, yeah. And then I think the songs are still straightforward. Silly little girl, simple little girl, you didn't want me. You didn't want me when I wanted you. You found another love. It's her you're thinking of, and it's every single thing that you. But I love him. So he sampled the Silly Me, Silly Isn't It, or Silly I think it is, from Valerie Simpson.
Ha ha ha, silly, wasn't I?
But I was quoting Silly Girl. It's like East Coast, West Coast. Like my mom didn't play that song growing up. But in LA, the oldies was the shit. So I heard Silly Little Girl a lot. It's called Foolish Little Girl now that I check by the Shirelles.
Foolish little girl, fickle little girl, you didn't want him when he wanted you. He's found another love, it's her he's dreaming of, and there's not a single thing that you can do. But I love him. No, you don't, it's just for pride that's hurt.
But so he's sampling that, I'm bringing that. This is both of our knowledge and love for music, I think really was a home run on this. Yeah, I think that we could get into the verse. For intro, I say you get fired. Me and my brother use that term all the time instead of breaking up. Just because, we wouldn't see, he's in college. I'd be wherever. So, like, oh, you fired homegirl? Yeah, you got fired. How'd she get fired on, once again, Friday, the documentary, great film. How'd she get fired on her day off? And then
What's up, man?
What's up?
Why you at work?
Got fired yesterday.
For real? I thought you had a day off yesterday.
I did. I went in there to pick up my check, came home. Supervisor called me about 4 o'clock. Talking about they got me on videotape stealing boxes.
What the fuck you doing stealing boxes for? What, you trying to build a clubhouse? And I know you ain't go out like that.
Hell no. They ain't got me on tape. She said they did. Fired me on the spot. Talking about pressing charges.
God damn. You got to be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
She thought that making me wait was the way to get me hooked. Now, fellas, we all know the oldest trick in the book. What you do, you wait around, wait until she breaks down. One day at the crib, she gon' let you break ground. Soon found out she was so real with it. 1 year, no love, man, who would deal with it? Me, I fell for it, romance and financing. A couple years back, I would've told you there was no chance in hell.
Yeah, man. She thought that it was a way to get me hooked. Oldest trick in the book, what you do, wait around. Yeah. Who would deal with it? Me, I fell for romance and financing. Quote from, romance without the finance from House Party 3.
In my day, we used to have a saying, no romance without finance.
A couple years back would have told you there was no chance in hell. Once again, wrestling, Vince McMahon's theme music, ring entrance music. No chance in hell. But oh well, here I was. That's how it be when you're falling. Once again, like writing to know that the crowd will come in and help me out, like ever on Trevor. And now it's when you falling in. I wouldn't say that. Maybe it was them trips to the gentleman's club. Oh well, That was nice telling me to add that.
Them trips to the gentleman's club. Oh, well.
That was in the cadence of 5 Heartbeats from, they said, this next group said they're better than the Temptation and Bird Night, better than the Midnight Falcons, all, whatever, rolled up in one. We shall see. Oh, well. That's what I think he was giving me directions and was something like that. If I was giving, but I wasn't getting back, man, a story about the cow. My mom used to cow in the milk the whole time, like, and just about women and not giving it up. And, you know, why would you buy the milk if you could get the cow for free? Or that's how she was raised, and she wishes more girls were like that and blah, blah, blah. Why would you buy the milk why would you buy the cow when you can get the milk for the free? Because if you wait too long, this is me talking back to my mother, because if you wait too long, the milk goes sour. It's not true, but it was funny. And I like my love hot, no more cold showers. I think it's masterful. I think it's masterful for me not to curse and to be able to still do metaphors and do metaphors on a song that's saying something away from these first 2 songs. The first song, I believe, is like an intro, like a up to current, like bring you up to date. There's a little bit of bars in there, but Murray's Law, to me, like songs like that are irrelevant. But we wanted to do one like 316 kind of on every album, or I bar up. But this is what I really like, being able to be creative and not cuss and still get a bar off. You know, love hot, no more cold showers, milk and cow, milk goes. Like, it's just, I think that's good writing, man. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. Silly Little Girl, Simple Little Girl, based on the Foolish Little Girl hook. You didn't want me when I wanted you. I'm on to other girls. I don't want you in my world, so there's not a single thing that you could do. You playing on my phone and you won't leave me alone. I was kind of like Mason out, you know. I respect Mace, but I wasn't a huge Mace fan. But I was on tour with Tavi Benet. He told me Mace was in his top 5, and I lost my mind. And it was a tour with a bunch of East Coast dudes, and they were like, "What do you mean Mace is like top tier? You're not in my top 5." But they like somebody else had him in the top 5, and then everybody else was defending him. I was like, y'all was in a whole different world, bro. Man, you know, and nothing changed other than that. I wasn't feeling it. I'm not gonna lie. I did buy the whole Harlem World album, which everyone had. Why are you over there looking at me? Because I've just been a Neptune production fan since The Funeral by the Clips. I love their production. And he killed it. Nobody else could have done that song. But I also bought the new Radicals.
Don't give up, you got the reason to you.
One dance left, this world's gonna pull through. Don't give up, you got a reason to live. Can't forget, we only get what we get.
I know where I bought both of those CDs used on tour in Eugene, Oregon before a show at the Wow Hall on the Murs for President tour. Oh, man, Walking in the Rain. When you would buy a whole CD for one song, man, that's when you knew you were balling. I was rich. So anyway, I could admit that, like, the Mace, like, there's like, playing on my phone and you won't leave me alone, think it's fine. You know, there's 50 Cent in there. There's like that sing-songy, I was trying. Didn't go full Ja Rule. Never go full Ja Rule. Just kidding.
Girl, your stare, those eyes.
Love it when you look at me, baby.
Your lips, your smile.
Love it when you kiss me, baby.
Your hips, those thighs.
Love it when you fuck me, baby.
Playing on the phone, you won't leave me alone. I think it's finally time for you to get a clue. Clue. Once again, doing it for the crowd. Told all your friends about the time you spend now, about to run it all throughout your crew.
Shower, so silly little girl, simple little girl. You didn't want me when I wanted you. I'm on to other girls, I don't want you in my world. There's not a single thing that you can do. You're playing on my phone and you won't leave me alone. I think it's finally time for you to get a clue. You told all your friends about the time we used to spend. Now I'm about to run it all throughout your crew.
That was from an old man I talked about his wife was still mad years later that he cheated on her. And the marriage has never been the same, but they stayed together for 40 more years after he cheated on her. But he tried to blame, and his justification of why he cheated was that his wife was telling her friends how good he was in bed. So then he had no choice because they were started coming on to him. She should have kept her mouth closed. I don't know. I'm not buying it, bro. But I hear you. You know what I'm saying? Hear you, son, but I don't even feel it. I don't know. That shit. Ooh, I call Pam, the one that always liked me. You trying to tell her that I had the drip, just, building off, running through your crew, using the drip instead of some shit just to spite me. Spite is not used enough in rap. But she didn't buy, guess what, was down to try it. And we did a lot more than Kiss. I can't deny it. Another sing-along part. Took it to the Hyatt to tie to the Clarion. Tasha, oh yeah, I went there again. Staring at my windows, just not hot. That never happened to me. But this was happening to me. I was dating a girl who was really chaste, and I did end up getting with one of her friends. And I thought I might make a run for the crew, but I kind of got stuck with one. And boy, was that a crazy thing. Not her, but just a crazy situation, which I go on to rap about for the next few years from this point. But yeah, it was based off a girl who wasn't giving it up, and rightfully so. I wasn't about shit. Well, I was kind of looking for a wife, but I wanted to try it before I buy it. Sorry, and it's a sin, and I'm not recommending my children do this, but this was the mindset I was in. Okay, guys, I wanted to try the milk before I bought the cow. With all intentions on buying the cows, we're talking about I'm sober, into monogamy, vegan, saving my money for a family, but I do want to, I'm not going to buy the Audi S5 without test driving it. Staring in the windows, just not hot. I always thought you were like a freak. This to me is like me doing a Reginald Hutland movie. This is me doing my version of a house party scene. I always thought you was a freak. Never thought you liked to watch an College Cops. Next time you come to my job, my new girlfriend, she from the hood, she down the squad. Girls would show up to shows, knowing that I had moved on. That would be a problem. And the girl I was, I think, dating at this time was very hood. She was very hood, but I don't know if she could fight. But she was definitely, went to school in the hood, grew up in the hood. Take them areas as crunch time, punch time. Believe me, I know. Let me tell you about this one time. Came home late, didn't call it. That's not the point. She gets another fight, she going back to the joint, so don't waste time. To me, it was just like a house party, kind of like kid and play romance comedy, working at the J.C. Penney's or something. Your girl keeps showing up at your job. Your new girlfriend comes and body slams her, throws her into a clothing rack, or hits her with a mannequin, beats her down. Then she goes to jail, and you end up getting back with the girl anyway. This is a, girl hiding in the bushes, and that was just like like class act kind of like that kind of violence with Dougie Doug and Kid and Play. Have you ever seen that?
I was an excellent student with a bright future. Oh yeah, well I was the dopest brother on the block. Cell block 9. That was before I met you.
Comedic violence, and then you go like, oh, it was just a daydream, and she's still hiding in the bushes, and you tell her like, go home, bye, and you're really not dating anybody. It's just you, and that was my cinematic vision. All that behind that. This third verse is some of the coldest shit I've ever seen, and maybe it's asshole shit, it's jerk shit. But Joe Scudder, who did the chorus, did the chorus on the last album and did the third verse. Ninth chose him for the song. I forgot the Gentleman's Club line. Like, yeah, this is the time where Pooh took me to a strip club in North Carolina called Brothers. And it was literally a shack. An illegal place. There's something where you had to buy like raffle tickets to get in. There was a raffle going. I had never seen no shit. They're fried chicken in a park or cafe. I feel like it was the most country juke joint, strip club, fun, fly, crazy shit I ever experienced in my life. So that's another reason the Gentleman's Club came up. But these were my running buddies because Ninth was at home at night. He was not in the streets. I still, my heart and my mind were trying to find a wife and kids, but my ass was still in the streets. My ass and what's in front of that, my lower part of my, extremities was in the streets. I was outside. And Pooh was kind enough, and Joe Scudder was kind enough to make sure I had activities to participate, outdoor activities. So going to Brothers was definitely legendary and part of our outdoor activities. Told that whole story about Australia. This is what's going on with my mind. They call it dad brain. We'll get to that later. Go back to Joe Scudder. On one of our adventures, outdoor activities, he brought home a young lady. This is his verses about this young lady. This young lady drove him to the studio And he rapped about this young lady in front of said young lady. It was cold work. Wow. Never see anything like it.
I knew the silly chick was digging me. I said I had a girl, but if we keep it on the low, you can get with me. See, I switched the game up. Now she asks when I'ma leave her. Leave her? You know the answer last time that came up. Why you keep stressing? Just keep undressing. This a headache. I swear I never learned my lesson. Told myself about these undercover dealings. Cause these silly chicks end up always catching feelings. And what I'm supposed to do when a late night freak in a Jeep end up getting a little close to you. Close to who? Close to me? Nah, my little thing on the side. This ain't how it's supposed to be. Supposed to hit it, quit it, hit it again, chill for a while, then flip it again. But she started acting crazy. I split to the end. She told the girls how I get down. Now I'm hitting a friend. Silly little girl. Simple little girl.
Now I'll finish. That's the end of Silly Girl, and then I'll finish this and we'll end this episode. Me and Lucky were on tour. Me and Lucky, we played the fart game. We are brothers. We are fucking around. I'm at soundcheck in Melbourne, Australia. He's standing next to the bar, joking around. We're doing something. I was out of control. And the stage was kind of high. And so when he wasn't looking, for some reason, I thought to myself, what if I just jumped on his shoulder or on the top of his head? Cause you see me perform, and then that time I was in peak physical condition as far as jumping, my jumps on stage. So I could just jump just my vertical, and I'm high enough on the stage where I could jump and just kick this motherfucker and land on his shoulder. What was I thinking, bro? I don't know why. Insanity. I jump. He looks up at me and of course moves out of the way. Oh, I thought if I don't hit him, I'll land on the bar. But I didn't see that there was an edge, or land on the floor, but I didn't see there was an edge to the bar. My toes just touched the edge of you know how like bars have that beveled edge? Touched the beveled edge of the bar and slipped off. And I fell forward and hit my head. Bow. Like slip, like if I would have come down straight on, and I could have braced my hands on the bar, but the momentum for me trying to grip the bar with my toes and slipping propelled me forward, and I fucking smacked my head. So if you lift up the Murray's Revenge CD, you'll see this huge knot on my head. Like, it was like the cartoons. I was trying to hold my head like, oh, fuck. And that shit, I felt it go, like, what was Heckle and Jekyll? I know y'all don't remember that shit, but Heckle and Jekyll, bro. I felt it rise. My head, my skull was pushing, or the blood, whatever was pushing my hand off of my head as hard as I was trying to compress it. It was like I had never felt or seen anything like it. And if you know Lucky like, oh shit. Like, he's very pure in the moment with this. So he could be laughing hilariously or very angry or very oh shit, we got to get you to the doctor. So I had to go to the ER, which being in a foreign country, going to the ER is probably way easier. It is easier. It's way easier than you would think. You're hurt. You need to get an X-ray, a scan on your head. You're from America. You have no insurance. Who cares? You have an issue. Let's check it out. Ah, you're good, mate. It was something like that. The doctor said, they x-rayed it, they showed me I was good, and I rocked that show that night. Fuck it.
Got all your girlfriends thinking that I'm the bad man. Never neglected you or disrespected you. Gotta have sex, yet you say I'm the gave you dick, never flying, pulled your hair when you wanted. Used to flip you on your stomach, said you wanted a bad man. That was all trauma.
It was done. I got to it. And used a photo for the inside of the Murray's Revenge album cover. Smiling. Because that's hip-hop. And just being a fucking idiot, bro. What the fuck was I thinking? All right, y'all. See you next week. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace.